When you hear the word wetland, what comes to mind? Do you picture a lot of water? What about cattails or lily pads? Maybe you even see a duck or two. But do you know what technically makes something a wetland? If you don't, you're not alone. In this video, we'll learn about how wetlands can be identified and why they're such an important part of our ecosystems. In order to be considered a wetland, the area in question will have to meet 3 criteria. Number 1 is hydric soils. According to the USDA's Natural Resources Conservation Service, soils are considered to be hydric when they are formed under conditions of saturation, flooding, or ponding long enough during the growing season to develop anaerobic conditions. Anaerobic means without oxygen. Hydric soils that are present in Crawford County include the following listed on your screen. The second criteria includes hydrophytic vegetation, or plants that have adapted to living in wet environments. One of the most iconic wetland species are cattails. That's right, those brown corn dog looking things. However, not all wetlands will have cattails. There are many plant species both above and below the water which can indicate the presence of a wetland. Some examples include water lilies, duckweed, coontail, and red-twig dogwood. The third criteria is the presence of water during the growing season. Swamps and marshes make for obvious wetlands because, well, they're pretty much always wet. However, it's very important to know that some wetlands are actually dry during part of the year. So just because an area seems to dry up for a while doesn't mean that that area isn't still a wetland. Now that you know a little bit about what makes an area a wetland, let's discuss why they're so important. Wetlands can host an incredible number of species, varying from insects to plants to fish to mammals and many things in between. This allows for exceptional levels of biodiversity that can help keep our ecosystems in equilibrium. Wetlands are also important because they can provide flood control, improve water quality, and help minimize erosion. Unfortunately, as a result of years and years of development and disturbance, many wetlands have been filled in or otherwise removed. The areas where this has happened now often deal with major flooding issues as the critical wetland features that once managed the water are no longer existing. If you're planning a project that would include any wetland disturbance, a permit will likely be required. Please contact your local conservation district, the Department of Environmental Protection, or the Army Corps of Engineers to learn more about what regulations are in place and what permits will be necessary. Wetlands are the link between land and water. These invaluable ecosystems benefit all sorts of species, including us humans. So, if you see a wetland, feel free to admire the biodiversity it sustains, but do your best to not disturb it. Thanks for watching, everyone!